STM, good evening. Right, what's up? Good evening.
Bright is muted. Just look at he's muted though.
Chief, I present cephalic. My cephalic.
Yes, good. I don't even know the time again. I don't
Evening.
know. Good evening.
Let's just use evening.
Just this evening, yeah.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Bright. Good evening, Dr. Ron. Good evening, girls. Favor, Titi, Hannah, Nafisat. Who is joining in? Ayomide. Good evening. Welcome to today's session. I'm feeling like a bit like STM again after I've been off and on hospital for a while. So welcome to today's session. I'm still going to leave it for Dr. Bright to still host like he's been doing that before, but I'm really excited to be here this evening. And Dr. Ron, thank you especially for honoring this invitation for us to talk to the girls. One or two are not here. We have a total of 8 girls, and currently in the room, we have 5 people here. One of them is preparing for an exam, so the possibility of her joining is a bit low, and the other 2, I'm sure they will join along the line. So you're highly welcome. Over to you, Dr. Bright. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Welcome to today's session with our facilitator, Dr. Ron. Dr. Ron is, in fact, I'll leave him to introduce himself because his bio. So trust me, I sent the bio to Dr. STM to see, and like I have to shorten it because voila. So thank you so much, Dr. Ron, for honoring our invite to talk to our mentees. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. So so I'm going to allow each mentee in the room to introduce themselves, and afterwards you can have the mic. So Titi, would you like to start?
Okay, is my audio clear?
Yes, you're clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. My name is Dare Titilope, and I maintain the Life Beyond School program. I studied with admin in school, and one of the things that I enjoy doing is helping businesses grow, which is why I'm currently taking a course on growth marketing, and I've been able to learn a lot from that. And I also enjoy writing and arts and craft. And also in my spare time, I volunteer at a children's Bible club, which is one of the things I enjoy doing.
Thank you, Titi. Who's going next? Nafisat, okay, mute yourself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Oyindamola. I am studying public health in Kwara State University. I am currently in 311. I like reading novels. I like watching movies. I love listening to music.
You're muted. I think you got muted in the middle of your introduction. Oh, are you done? So we know when next person can go. Can you hear her? Favor, if you're ready, you can start.
audio is not clear.
Your audio is not clear. If it's possible to change network or maybe turn off your video, maybe it will save bandwidth. Let's see if it will become clearer.
Good evening, everybody. My name is actually Favor, a graduate of insurance. I love making impact, basically, especially for women. I'm just in women and ladies. Presently, I run a ladies program where I help ladies build up their self, get to discover their purpose, and also be a better version of themselves. And then I love children as well. And then, as much as possible, I try to volunteer whenever I can to also help children in building them up also. Thank you. I don't know if you had.
It appears the network is really playing a hard one on her. I barely heard what you said, Favor. I don't know if it's the same for others, but for the want of time, I think we'll progress. Ayo, are you there? Ayomide, can you talk? I don't know if she's muted or not, and if she's really here. Then Hannah says she's stuck in the traffic, so she may have to put her own introduction here in the chat box. And over to our guest, Dr. Ron.
Just a second. Can I share my screen? Bright, who is the host? Can you enable me to share screen?
Oh.
Have you enabled it?
Yeah, I didn't know the setting was off before now. Sorry about that. It's enabled now.
Okay, just a second. Save, let's see, PowerPoint.
Is it coming up now?
Yeah, it's coming up. Just a second.
Right.
Share, yep. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
I try to use your colors so that it will blend.
It's okay. It's fine. Do you mind if you can use what's it called? Slideshow?
I'll turn it to presentation mode. Yep.
Great. Thank you.
All right, let me see. I hope everybody can see too.
Answer for yourself. For me, I can see very well.
Well, I guess everybody can. And yep. So good evening, everybody, and happy to be in your midst this evening to talk about employability skills, because it's one of those in-demand skills now in the industry. So yeah, I think it was wise for STN to include that as part of the things she wants you guys to learn about. So, and we'll be taking this through this outline, introduction, definition, importance, what are the key ones, how to develop and enhance your skills, and how to showcase your skills, employability skills. Well, Bright said they've shared my bio or whatever, but just a little bit about me. I'm a medical doctor, and I've got postgraduate degrees in clinical anatomy and health informatics. I like creating content on Twitter and YouTube, blog post articles. So I generally love writing. So that's just like a high level overview of myself. So let's dig into the conversation. So what are employability skills? So basically so when you hear soft skills, when you hear transferable skills, when you hear employability skills, they are all the same thing. So basically they're just collection of personal traits or behaviors and qualities that help people to succeed in the workplace and increase their chances of landing a job, retaining that job, and potentially getting promoted in your workplace. So I tried to highlight the key words in that definition, soft skills, transferable skills, succeed, and increase, because it's very important to understand, these keywords and, what they mean. So in a nutshell, this is what employability skills are generally. And a little bit of statistics around employability skills. So, 53% of employers consider soft skills very essential when making a hiring decision, meaning as they're looking through your CV or supporting statement. So this plays a major role if they are going to pick you or not. And incidentally, 54% of employees says they haven't added any soft skills to their CV. Yes, a lot of CVs I come across, people don't talk about their soft skills at all. And that's a big negative for you. Then up to 40% of jobs in the next decade will require explicit social emotional skills. Again, soft skills. Then 91% of talent professionals believe that soft skills can transform the workplace. I'll talk about this later when we get into details. Then 85% or 85.5% of employers look for problem-solving skills in the skill sets of their applicants to, again, see what recruiters are looking out for. And this one, 88% of Americans think they're very confident in their critical thinking skills. And 1 in 3 job postings contain baseline of soft skill requirements. So by the time you start looking out for jobs, somewhere in the job adverts, you just be seeing it's maybe teamwork, leadership, whatever, will still come to those ones. So it's important to note that these things are actually very, very, very critical to your success. So what are the importance, or what is the importance of employability skills, right? So because it involves, on a personal level, on a career or professional level. So it's a mix of all of that. So number one, having good employability skills allows you to work very well with your colleagues. The work pattern is changing drastically. You have people who are working remotely, or people are working hybrid, or, dynamics are really changing, and you need to be able to work very well with your colleagues. And having these soft skills usually allows you to do that. Then secondly, allows you to adjust quickly to new technologies, trends, and processes. Like, again, things are changing very rapidly. And someone who's got the soft skills or transferable skills is able to adjust quickly. It makes you flexible, it makes you adaptable to whatever new that is happening in the workplace. So sometimes maybe they introduce a new software or new process and all of that. See, a lot of persons tend to struggle to adapt. But those who are well equipped with these soft skills, that transition is not usually that difficult for them. Then thirdly, it helps you enhance knowledge sharing, because again, we talk a lot about teamwork, communication, meeting the organization's bottom line, and all this depends on how much knowledge you're able to share with your colleagues and all of that. Identify and resolve challenges. Being able to identify and resolve challenges is a very critical element for individuals who are looking to, maybe rise in their careers, or maybe get promoted, or because you can't just be sitting there in the office just doing basic day-to-day activities. You should be able to take initiative, identify and resolve challenges. So if you've got soft skills, it helps you do that. And it greatly improves your prospect for career development. So either you're switching roles or career transitioning and all of that, if you've got enough soft skills or the relevant ones, it helps you improve that chances. Then offers job security. Again, if you're working in a place and you're noted as a high flyer, you're always delivering, you work well with everybody, your job is top notch and all of that. If there's going to be a retrenchment or whatever, you won't be the first on the list, because they consider you a very valuable member of the organization, right? And another thing to note is that most of these skills are very transferable. So it's easy to move them from industry to industry. I can move from healthcare, move to finance, from finance, move to health tech and all of that. So it gives you that job security that whatever happens, I should get a job or I will lose my job. And improve customer experiences. So every business is serving a customer somewhere, either online or offline. So your ability to have very good soft skills helps you improve your customer experience. Things like communication skills, things like empathy, listening skills, they come in when you're dealing with customers. So, and if you have good ones, then automatically the business is going to grow because the staff, they are very, very knowledgeable. So the soft skills are actually very plenty, but I just try to highlight some of them I think are very key to different workplaces and all of that. So number one is communication. You need to be able to communicate both timely, both efficiency, without leaving room for assumptions of any kind. And communication is usually the bedrock of whatever the organization is doing. I mean, you're doing reports, you're having meetings, your deliverables and all of that. It's still, I mean, communication is at the core of all you do. So you need to be able to communicate in very clear, concise manner, leaving no room for ambiguity as to what is he or she trying to say, what is the issue there and all of that. So communication skills, very, very, very important. Next one is teamwork. Now everybody is looking for who is able to work in a team. Or most of the job adverts I keep saying, so ability to work in a team, ability to work in a team, which is very key because businesses can't run on one person. It takes teamwork to actually, push the organization out there. So if you're a problematic person, you don't know how to work with a team, maybe from the same background or diverse backgrounds, then it's a big issue. So teamwork is a big thing for you to work on. Problem solving skills. This is one a lot of people are looking out for. I mean, employers really. So you need to be able to take initiatives, really, figure out what are the issues in this place. How can I make them better? Or how can I improve better processes and all of that? So basically, you're not sitting down waiting to be told what to do. So it's you finding problems and taking a lead on solving those issues. Then adaptability, I mentioned this ability to, change with trends or technology and processes as they're happening in real time. So being adaptable helps you stay on top of your game, really. Then you talk about leadership skills. This one is also very, very important. So leadership in the sense, it doesn't mean you are going to be maybe CEO or whatever. No, we can all be leaders at the different levels that we are working in, wherever you're working in your organization, right? So for example, you can decide to take leads on projects within your space and all of that. So you take leads on projects, within your little workspace, I mean, maybe I'll use an example. I remember one time we're trying to create an induction manual in my place. They say who is willing to, volunteer. So things like that is where you can step up to, okay, I'm happy to, work on this or take it as an additional responsibility. Additional responsibility. So that's the leadership we're talking about. And the truth is, as you're doing all of this, management is not blind. They are seeing what you're doing and taking note of all of those things. Then time management skills. This one is also very important. You need to be able to know how to manage your time. I mean, most workplaces now, they are actually very fast-paced environments. A lot is happening at the same time. Priorities are clashing, your to-do list is increasing every day. So you're being able to manage your time and also, effectively prioritize which one should I do now, which one should I delegate, and all of that is also a good hallmark of a very important employee or something, if I'll put it that way. So time management is very, very important. Then digital skills. We now live in the digital era. So there is no way we can talk about employability skills without talking about digital skills. So things as being able to even create a PowerPoint presentation is a digital skill. Ability to even schedule Zoom meetings or even use Zoom meetings to do something is a digital skill. So there are a whole lot of them that you need to learn. Using Microsoft Word to type reports, convert it to PDF, using Outlook to send mails, emails, scheduling emails, and all of that. These are basic digital skills employers want you to know about, because it might surprise you guys to know there are some people that don't even know how to use MS Word to even type a document. If they want to type something, they look for people to give it to them and type. They rather pay for those things and people type it for them. It doesn't make sense, at least in this 21st century that we are in at the moment. So digital skills, good. Then professionalism, that's the ability to stick to the ethics of organization. What are the values? What are the ethics of that place? What is the culture? You being able to stick to those things is also a hallmark of a very good employee, because you don't want to be seen as a rebel or an outlier that is working in the organization. So these are some of the key employability skills I just talked about. Though, like I said, there are a lot of them. You have critical thinking, you have critical analysis. There are a whole lot of them, but I think this one stopped the list for me, really. Then the next slide, we're talking about, so how do we develop your employability skills? So I try to just distill them into this short points. So the first one is to identify the relevant industry skills, right? So every industry has relevant skills that they are looking out for, in as much as most of these soft skills are actually transferable, but there are some skills that are like industry specific skills. So the first thing you might want to do is just to identify those relevant industry skills. What are they? Let's say, for example, okay, maybe in the tech space now, they are big on collaboration and teamwork. Okay, if I identify that's the skill they need, and that is the area you're going to move into. So the next thing you want to do is to do a self-SWOT analysis. What are my strengths? What's my weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? So that allows you to figure out, do I have these skills that this industry I'm trying to get into require of me? So if I don't have it, so how do I go about getting it? So that's where the SWOT analysis comes in. So by the time you identify the ones you are lacking and the ones you need to improve on, you now set your goals, and they have to be very smart goals. So the goals are in terms of, okay, how do I pick these skills? Where do I learn them from? What is the time frame I'm giving myself? In the next 6 months or in the next 3 months, I should be able to maybe use this software or use that software and all of that. So that's you setting goals to, pick up those skills that you think you're deficient in. Then after that, you now seek learning opportunities, because you now know what the issues are. You now seek learning opportunities. So where am I going to learn all the skills? So you could decide to take courses, online courses from Coursera, EDX, and all of that. There are a lot of them. There are videos on YouTube too that could teach you one of these things. You could decide to learn from networking, asking people. It could be through mentorship or internship or whatever. Basically, you're just looking for avenues where you can learn the skills, right? Then by the time you're learning it, the learning and the practice, they actually go hand in hand. So you're practicing what you're learning. So if it's teamwork, you're practicing it. If it's collaboration, practicing. If it's presentation, if it's communication, you're practicing at the same time, because they say practice makes perfect. So as you're practicing again, you're also seeking feedback from maybe your line managers or superiors or whoever that is above you. So your feedback should be not just going upwards to your line manager. So you're looking for vertical feedback, and you're also looking for horizontal feedback from your peers, those who are on your level. So you're looking for honest opinions. Okay, how do you guys think I'm doing? I'm trying to be a team player and all of that. What do you guys think and all of that? So you usually get honest feedback, and that tells you where the gaps are and where you still need to put in more effort to, so that those skills will be at the level you want them to be. That you network. I mean, I can't overemphasize this. So network means you're attending conferences, you're attending meetings, you could also network online, LinkedIn group, Facebook groups, and all of that. Because what you find these days, most of the industries you are, there's a group somewhere of like-minded professionals. So you want to network, you want to reach out to those people. What are the best practices? What are we doing? How can I be better? And all of that, Then next thing is to take initiative, take initiative also sort of falls under practicing what you're doing or practicing the skills you're learning. So take initiative in the workplace, okay, what can I do to demonstrate this new skill? Which project can I lead on? What extra thing can I do? But again, you have to be careful not to cross the line of how will I put it? You don't want to be taking on too much work that you can't handle in a bid to say, okay, I'm trying to showcase my skills and all of that. So it's a very fine line that you have to be careful about. And the last point is always to reflect and refine. You sit back, you take stock. Okay, how well have I done in this past 2 months? Okay, where are the gaps and all of that? You refine your strategy, and you continue the cycle all over again. So it's really a never-ending process. You can only aim to get better at what you're doing. So this will help you in developing your skills. Then we'll now talk about showcasing your skills. So it's one thing having those skills, then it's one thing being able to show them so that people who you're working with and working for can see that, oh, this person is actually very good. So the first thing, I think I already mentioned this, is communicate effectively. You can't work in isolation all the time. So you need to communicate effectively to your peers, to your bosses, send your reports. Communication is at the heart of everything you do. So that's very important. Take initiatives when you can. Are there small projects in the office that you think you can handle? Even if you can't handle, you can say, okay, I'm happy to do this part of this work and all of that. So that's you taking an initiative and also showing some sort of leadership really in the workplace. Then produce high quality work. High quality work is very important. So that tells whoever you're working for, we can always rely on this person to produce the best of work. There are people in the workplace that you just tell them, please, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 done. You don't even need to start worrying whether it's going to get done because they are going to deliver. All they just need is to understand the time frame. Okay, we need it in 2 days, or we need it in 1 week, or we need it in 24 hours. We know they will always deliver and at very high quality. So that's the sort of standards you want to set for yourself by producing high quality work in the workplace. Collaborate more. So, working more with teams, doing things together with people. Sometimes I hear people say, I don't like crowd and I work alone better and all of that. In the workplace, that does not, it doesn't translate to you being a team player. And if push comes to shove, you might be the first person to even leave the company because they say this person is not a team player, really. So then stay positive, which is important because when things are changing very fast or rapidly in the workplace, and some people get sad that plenty work don't they come, which kind of wahala be this and all of that. So that gives off a negative vibe about you. It's like, oh, this person can't cope and whatever. So you need to always, be positive, even though you don't want to be positive. You shall have to show that you're positive, you're taking it in good stride, whatever it is. I'm always ready for it. Then be solution oriented. So there are people who in the workplace, they are more of, always complaining, what's this issue again? What's this issue? They really don't want to sit back to say, okay, what can we do about it? Okay, the problem is there. So what's the way forward? So it's always good to be one of those people who is always looking for solutions to issues in the workplace. Okay, the problem is there. Say, but I think we can do it this way, this way, this way, and so that's the kind of attitude you always want to be portraying in the workplace. Then lastly, you want to share your achievements really. So again, you have to be careful about this because again, you have to tell people what you're doing, because sometimes maybe your managers might be too busy to, acknowledge what it is you're doing and all of that, but you need to take stock of what you're doing, and maybe you've led on one project and you completed it successfully. It's an achievement really for yourself. Or, I mean, you should know the milestones that you think are significant for you based on your level of skill and expertise. So you should be able to share those achievements at the same time, not being very what's the word now, maybe boastful, or for lack of words, just share achievements exactly, so that people know, okay, she's actually working on all of that. So that's how you can showcase your employability skills in the workplace. So I'll just leave you guys with this. The only way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. So it's not enough to listen to all this plenty story I've been telling. So, and it's not too early to start developing those skills. For people who say who they are still in school, or those that are ahead at 300 level or whatever, it's not too late to start building those employability skills now. It's going to help you in the long run. So in summary, employability skills are very crucial in the workplace because they improve productivity for both individuals and organizations, promote teamwork, encourage adaptation, support creativity, and ultimately support your career development and job stability. They're highly regarded by employers in addition to being essential to a person's long-term employability and professional development. And yep, so I'll say thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions you might have. Okay. Oops, sorry. So, yep, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Dr. Ron. Thank you very much. I'm not going to initiate the question session for the girls today. I will allow them to initiate it today.
Yes, I that was what I wanted to do. That's why I just kept quiet. So let's just be looking at ourselves.
Let's just be looking at ourselves. Maybe if after some minutes nobody wants to talk, we'll end it. We'll take Dr. Ron and boom. So we'll see their plan for today.
You guys should feel free. Don't be shy.
Shy. Okay. I don't know if it's for STM or for you or for Dr. Brian that I'll be shy for. But I've seen, okay, there's Ijama is saying thank you, that she really learned a lot. What are those a lot that you actually learned? Those times in school, when they ask us to ask questions and we refuse to ask questions, they will now dish us the question. Since you've refused to ask question, or ask a question, the questions will start coming. Okay, Titi raised her hand.
Yes, Titi raised her hand. Titi,
Please set the pace for us. Okay. You're muted.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, sir, for today's session. I think it was really easy to understand and a good foundation for growth in career.
Titi, you're not audible enough. Could you be more audible?
Maybe I should move my. I'm trying to charge my phone. Oh, okay, let me just. Okay. So I was saying that thank you very much for today's session. That I was able to learn a lot, and about career development and growth. So my question is for um those of us in the category of maybe like we are still in school or maybe doing NYSC or just coming out of NYSC looking to break into whatever industry that we are pursuing. Are there like, how do I even put this now? I know you've talked about basically almost literally everything that we need to know about the soft skills and the taking courses and volunteering and all. But is there like any, should I say, tips or advice, or let me not even say tips or advice, like anything we should look out for, maybe potential pitfalls or things we can avoid basically in this season as we are just starting out with all these foundational things and looking to grow into the people that we desire to be in our careers?
Interesting question. Pitfall to avoid. Um, okay, firstly, I would say number one, don't assume you know everything. Because some people assume that okay, what's this we're talking about? I know all these things, but when push comes to shove, you really don't have all of those skills per se. So I think that's number one pitfall to avoid. Avoid being complacent and thinking you know all of those things. That's number one. Then number two is to avoid like call it negative vibe or energy per se. Um, there are persons that we roll with that we know every moment with these people is not really adding value to me per se, right? So you always need to evaluate. I mean, what are we learning from these persons and all of that? Because I mean, if you're not careful, the people you roll with, they tend to influence you negatively if they're negative minded set of individuals. So considering where you're heading to or what you're aspiring to be, so you need to be careful of the circle of friends you have around you at every point in time. Because for me now, most of the people around me is always people that I can always talk to, share ideas. Okay, what do you think? And they're able to come up with solutions, not the ones that we tell you let's go and buy suya or drink beer or something or lick ice cream or cold stone.
No,
I'm
no,
not
they
saying
tell you to buy suya, call me. If you don't want to eat suya, eat yeah.
I'm not saying all of those things are bad, right? But there has to be a balance, really. If
Yeah.
every time is cold stone, we are going to leak cold stone, cold stone, cold stone, and let's go to Sulera and watch cinema, then there's a problem somewhere. If the person is not telling you, there's this course I saw somewhere that can help you improve your presentation skills, I think you should take it. Then that's a problem, really. Then, thirdly, uh, in the workplace, you treat work as if it's work, really. Me, I don't like getting to what's the word now? Is it too familiar or whatever? Because now work you come for, so now work, just do your work and go home. But at the same time, you always try to remain professional, really, about whatever you're doing. So I think those are the three pitfalls off the top of my head I can tell you to avoid for now as you're getting into whatever space you're getting. I can see one question in the chat.
Yeah, I was about coming your attention.
So it said, as an insurance graduate, I discovered that most job opportunities are in marketing, and it is not what I want to start with, but I keep getting those offers. Should I go ahead with improving my skill in that, or should I keep looking for administrative jobs that I want? Interesting. So if you have plenty money, or people that are, say you're not paying rent and all of that, maybe you can chill till you find the job you're looking for. But again, I usually say the one you have, collect it and start. So it's usually a stepping stone. Even if you think you don't like it, there are lots you can learn from those jobs, and they could even be the stepping stone to the job you're even looking for. So maybe it's from the sales skinny that you now enter the admin job you're looking for. So if you ask me, I'll just say get on with those ones. Keep on improving your skills and keep on looking for the admin job you're looking for. That's what I would say. Then this one is from Hannah. In today's world where your negotiation skills will be top notch to get the best experience, how does one go about improving one's negotiation skills? Interesting. Well, I shall know that there are courses on negotiation skills, out there on all those online platform. I think I've even looked at some of them, or PDF documents around different things. So again, it depends on what you're negotiating for, really. So are you trying to negotiate the salary increase? You feel that you're doing a lot for the company and you want them to increase your money. That's one form of negotiation. Or are you trying to negotiate for a promotion? You feel you are capable of doing more than you're doing at the moment, or leading teams or whatever. That is still negotiation. Or are you trying to negotiate them? Maybe you're a team lead, you're trying to ask HR to give you new staff or something. That is still negotiation. So depends on what you're really negotiating for. So I think it's just to look up those courses and all of that. Then another good thing I usually do is, if you spot people who you think are very successful in quote, or seem to know what they're doing in the organization, it's also a good opportunity to shadow them and observe them closely what they are doing. So I mean, on the job learning is actually very, very important. So you're seeing the way they are talking every day, they are communicating to people, they're having their conversations, you see the way they are being tactful. So for example, now, if you're working in government setting, I mean, you have to be very careful how you talk to everybody, because everybody's an oga in their office, even the secretary self, even the gate man self, that is the gate man to the office, is an oga. And if you don't, talk to him the way he wants to hear, you cannot see the CEO or the MD of the office. So all of these things are still tied to negotiation skills. So you just watch how it's being done in your organization in addition to the courses. Okay, pay and living conditions. So if you're negotiating pay and living conditions, I think the rule of thumb is that you need to have very solid evidence why you think they should increase your salary. You don't just wake up. Maybe you've heard one colleague is earning 1 million. So okay, be like, say, I go to collect 1 million too. So there has to be very tangible reasons why I should be paying you 1 million naira. So you need to go and sit down, itemize those what are the values I'm bringing to this organization. So for example, you could say, since I joined this hospital, we've seen increase in maybe 50% new patients. Maybe because of my being in that hospital, more patients are coming in. That's something valuable. You could say, we now have more revenue. We're making 2 million before per month. Now we're making 6 million per month. That is, so you need those numbers. It's not just you saying you did. There has to be tangible. They have to be measurable, so that when management, they are seeing the numbers, it's okay. It's like we can really, push this for this thing. Or you say, when I joined, nobody was training house officers or teaching Kini. You came in and you took that responsibility on your shoulder, making sure they were put through. Maybe you design an induction package or something. So those are tangible things you say, okay, I can put forward to these people, and okay, maybe you add small money to whatever I'm getting. So it's tricky, but you have to have your own defense, because they usually ask you the question. They'll ask you, why should we even give you extra money? So if you don't have the answers to those questions, we're back to square one. Is it advisable to learn two soft skills at the same time? You can learn 10 self-learn because all of them actually go together. So it's not like you're picking one and it's only communication and critical thinking are going to learn. All of them come is a whole package, really. So because like we said, they are transferable from industry to industry. So if I'm in finance today, I could be in healthcare tomorrow or aviation tomorrow. Those soft skills they cut across. So it's worth picking all of them as much as you can because they really come in handy. And again, it's not as if it's really difficult because we are listing them bullet point by bullet points. When you actually sit down and look at it in details, it's something you're doing already every day. I think it's just to be more conscious of it and take proactive steps to like develop those skills really. Then let me see. For a graduate with little experience, how can I have an outstanding CV? I don't know what you mean by outstanding CV. Is it in terms of percentage or whatever? Well, for you to have an outstanding CV, well, outstanding CV is good though, but me, I'm usually very conscious of what the person can do because anybody can create a CV really to these days that people are writing CV left, right, and center. So that might not really showcase what it is really, but in terms of being outstanding, look away from the content. You need to look at what are the standard CV templates in use now because a lot is changing every day. Today they'll tell you we don't want to see your date of birth or place of origin. So all of those things are changing. So in terms of outstanding, so you want to look at what's the current templates, wherever you are, US, UK, Nigeria, whatever, and apply it to that format really. The way the title is, where your skills are, education, and all of those things. Just use the standard templates for that moment. Then in terms of content, it's you that know what you've achieved so far. So being able to, itemize those things properly. And then again, in terms of being outstanding, it depends on the role you're applying for. So I won't be applying for a social media manager job now, and I'm putting my whole hospital CV as application. So that doesn't help my matter because I'm not showing anywhere where I've done social media or graphic design or whatever. So I think that again tends to towards outstanding CV. So if you're going for a marketing role, you need to tailor your CV towards marketing. If you're going for insurance, it has to be tailored towards insurance, So I think that's what in my head is outstanding, really. Then what are the things to include in a cover letter? Some recruiters say that there should be no repetition of what's in your CV. Yes, I agree. So most times the cover letter is usually you telling the recruiter, this is who I am and this is why you should be hiring me. This is the value I'm going to bring into your organization. That's really what you're putting in your cover letter. So there's no business of your cover letter with your CV. So there are two distinct, how will I put it, documents really. So the emphasis in your cover letter is, highlighting your strengths, what value you're bringing to the table. That's basically you just saying why you should take me, and if you don't take me, this is what you stand to lose. So that's what essentially is in your cover letter. So could you explain transferable skills? So transferable skills, I still say they are the same thing as employability skills. They are the same thing as soft skills, and they're just basically personal behaviors, qualities that help you succeed and also increase your chances of getting a job, retaining the job, and also being promoted. So that's basically what those skills are. So teamwork, collaboration, critical thinking, critical analysis, time management, organizational skills, they're all soft skills. When directly reaching out to a company for an opportunity without them posting a job vacancy, what are the necessary things to note? This sounds like you pitching yourself without a job advert, right? So for that one, though it's a bit tricky, so but it usually goes around you going to research the company. What are these people doing? What is their day-to-day activities? Are they producing whatever? Is it a service company? Is it a manufacturing company? What are their products and all of that? What are the issues they might be having in the company? Are they struggling with sales? Are they struggling with monetization? Or are they struggling with what is the problem? So it's you identifying the problem that your skill sets can solve. So that's usually the approach, really. So if, for example, I see that maybe they are spending so much money and they are not making enough money in terms of revenue before you even talk about profits, you can now say you are a sales professional with 10 years of experience, and you've worked with Shell, you've worked with these people, and these are the numbers you are able to help them achieve in those places. And currently, maybe if they give you the opportunity, you are able to come and do the same magic you've been doing in all those other companies. So you should always come from a place of this is why I can deliver for you people, not just because you are looking for work. And we know everybody should looking for work. But what are you now bringing to the table? Why should I even collect you? So that's the angle. If you're coming from, there was no job advert. This is you just shooting your shot, hoping that they will shall take you. So I think that's the angle you would approach it in terms of things to note. Doing your research properly, then articulating your profile or your bio or whatever properly before you now send it to the HR or whoever that it is. Then this one is what's the difference between skill and experience, and what are the skills that every person should learn? Skills plenty, you know. So if we will say now we said soft skills, that's one set of skills. You also have the ones they call hard skills or the technical skills. And if you still break those ones down, they are so numerous based on industry by industry. So it's good to understand which one is it you're looking for. What industry are you going in for? So that usually determines the skill you're going to learn. So for example, if I'm trying to become a data analyst tomorrow, so I know I should be very conversant with Excel. I should be conversant with using SQL and maybe one of the visualization apps, Tableau or Power BI. So being able to use those tools is a skill set for me, really. So that's a skill I need to get for me to be a good data analyst. That's for example, right? Then if you now talk about the experience, I think experience now talks about how long have you been doing that, So I've been crunching numbers for the past 10 years. That means you've been analyzing data every day for the past 10 years. So in terms of experience now, if somebody data analyst that has 10 years and 2 years experience, I'll take the person with the 10 years now. Again, depending on the role, because I feel this person has been doing this for a much longer time. So there are things that person knows that this other person does not know, again, depending on what the job role is for. So I think that's the experience really. It's just like a doctor who just finished school and a consultant. You see the gap between the years of experience. So there are a lot of things consultant knows that this one does not know and all of that. So I think that's really the difference. So in terms of skills, I think soft skills, those ones are basic really. It's generic. You should know or learn as plenty soft skills as you can. Because again, we said you can use them from every industry. Tomorrow you can quit, say, I'm not doing doctor work again. I want to go and be doing insurance. That's still fine. They will still serve you. you know. So it's the hard skills that are usually very industry specific. So you find those ones and work on them. How can one optimize LinkedIn to really get great job opportunities? LinkedIn optimization. This one now work, yeah. So basically, I think there are simple guidelines out there really on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. You know, at least you should have a profile picture there so that we know that it's a human being that is there, and your proper name is there. And because there are some people you just see profile is either blank or they put a picture of something else that is there. So it really doesn't give me the confidence to interact with that page or that handle, you know. So people want to see that human element really. So your picture has to be there. You know, find one. They tell you professional headshot or something. Shall put fine picture there. Write your name properly. Um, your education. So all those blanks they fill, shall fill them in. Then write a very nice short bio about yourself using the relevant keywords you think recruiters might be looking out for. Like in the insurance space now, there are keywords that people want to hear in insurance. In healthcare, they have in aviation, finance. So you research all those keywords and use them in your, or what you call it now, put it in your LinkedIn profile. Then people that you've worked with on previous projects, you can ask them for recommendations. You know, let them write one or two recommendations for you. I think that's also helpful. What else? What else? Optimization. What else? I think that's really like at a very basic level, the barest minimum you should do on your page. You know, update your job history, update your educational history. And again, it's not enough to just go and write, let's say, for example, you're updating your job history or whatever. It's not enough for you to just go and write your day-to-day activities. You know, a lot of us are guilty of that. You just go and copy your job description and paste it there. Yes, it's really not good, but because you should be telling people what you've done in your workplace, basically, and I've achieved, be able to improve A and E waiting times by 10% or 20%. We've reduced Kini by, you know, there should be numbers to show that, okay, this person is actually hitting milestones and targets, not just copying and pasting job description there on your LinkedIn. So it really doesn't tell much about you. So I think that's really the basics of optimizing LinkedIn. Then if you're actively searching, you can set your notification to open to work. You know, I think there's a place you can push that switch that you're open to new roles and something. So recruiters can actively get across to you if they see you're open to work and all of that. So that also helps. Then again, it's also good to, depending on where you're looking for a job now. So if you're living in Kwara State now, you're looking for a job in Lagos, you cannot be putting, it's good to put your location in, what do you call it now? Switch it to Lagos State. So you'll be getting more opportunities that pop up in Lagos. Or you're in Lagos now, you're looking for remote work in America. You cannot be using Lagos. Can you set your location to United States? That's when you now start seeing the opportunities from that side. Then another trick is to also use LinkedIn jobs too to your advantage. So you can go and set up regular alerts, job alerts to the kind of jobs you're looking for. Maybe project manager, customer success manager, whatever it is, you just type it there, set notification so that once those jobs are posted on LinkedIn, you get notified that this job is here. Then you can now go and apply for those roles. So at the basic level, that's how you can really use LinkedIn to get good opportunities or great job opportunities. Let's see. Okay. I think that's about the last question so far.
think you're doing back-to-back of questions. Girls are just bombarding you.
It's okay.
I was so happy with the way they were giving it to him today. The questions back to back. Oh, network is really disturbing Nafisat. Dr. Ron, thanks a lot for your time. Thank you for really attending to all the questions, the PowerPoints. You did justice to it. And I'm sure the girls were engaged. That's why they were throwing in questions left and right and center. Just want to make sure that they get it right. Nobody wants to get it less than right. Let me not say wrong.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I really relate with the questions they're asking is what they ought to be asking. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for the PowerPoint and for the presentation. Huh?
No problem. You're all welcome.
All right. So who is giving vote of thanks today? When we are done with vote of thanks, Dr. Ron will go as usual. Our guest usually leaves before us, and then we'll do our own part of the whole
in-house.
Yeah. So who is giving vote of thanks today to Dr. Ron? I don't want to call. You see, today I'm not wanting to call name or do anything. Let's see those the spirits will move today. So who is the spirit moving today? If it refuses to move anybody, I will now move. So I should give Dr. Ron a vote of thanks for today. Hannah has given before, Titi has given before. And Hannah is currently stuck in traffic, so she can't talk. Nafisat appears to be having network issues. Same with Favor. You see the way I'm doing rule out. So if you have not mentioned your name, the candle is going towards you. So better choose your struggle now before we get into you. It's between IJ and Ayomide. So we are waiting to hear from, and I don't think I've heard any of their voices today. I can't remember hearing their voice today. So they will now talk with vote of thanks. I'm waiting.
Okay, I will take the vote of thanks, ma.
Great. Well, where is your face? You don't want us to see your fine face.
Oh, she's camera shy.
None of my babies here are camera shy.
On behalf of all of us at LBS, on behalf of all of us at LBS, I want to say a very big thank you to you for this session. Thank you.
Audio is not clear, but it's okay.
We need to know what to do with MTN and Glo and Airtel. It's falling our hands with too much in Nigeria these days.
Ayomide, you can switch off your video.
Maybe it will help. Because we didn't even get to see the video. Okay, I think she's off. All right. Dr. Ron, thanks a lot. I'm going to now take it on behalf of the girls because I see that network is not being helpful today. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you for answering the questions.
Okay.
Okay, she's back. We are waiting, so unmute and continue talking. I was just filling in.
Okay, ma. Oh, thank you, ma. Okay, sir, I was saying that Dr. Ikpe, please, I hope I got the pronunciation right.
It's fine, no problem.
Thank you, sir. So, on behalf of all of us at LBS, I am saying a very big thank you to you. We all gained value from today's session, and I'm sure our knowledge on employability skills have been widened. We know more about employability skills. Thank you so much for answering our questions well too. Thank you, sir.
Finally.
You guys are welcome. I'm happy to share share my little knowledge with you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll just disappear and leave you guys.
If you refuse to disappear, we'll kick you.
All
Thank you.
right, well done later.
All right.